Hey everyone, my name is Caffrey and welcome back to what I like to call the Cozy Corner here on YouTube, where we like to discuss everything about photography, film photography and cameras in general. I hope you guys have been well. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, then you can tell that I'm not in the usual setting right now. I don't even think there is a usual setting anymore, to be honest. I'm in Dubai at the moment and I've been here for around 2 weeks now, around 2 weeks or so. I rented out like this random meeting room that's at like my apartment complex. Here, let me show you. This is the current setup right now. That tripod leg is about to collapse, I swear. It's on like its last leg, literally. And of course, you know, I have to have my Barocca. This is where we're currently shooting right now, in this lovely meeting room. But the thing is, as you can tell, there's just no, there's no privacy. People would just walk past and see me talk to the camera, which is weird because I'm usually just alone in my bedroom shooting these videos. So the fact that anyone can walk past on both sides and just stare at me talking to the camera, I don't like it. I feel like I say this a lot in my videos and sometimes a wee bit too much, but I feel like it's just because it's relevant to the topic that we're talking about. But I am half Scottish and I'm half Filipino. Mainly grew up in the Philippines and London, but I did live in Scotland not too long ago for about a year or a year and a half. Our whole family is just pretty much all over the place, but my dad has been very lucky enough to be working in the Scottish Highlands now for about 3 to 4 years, maybe even more. I think it's around 4 to 5. And when I say Scottish Highlands, I mean it like this guy is just in the middle of nowhere. For example, if you know about the Loch Ness monster, if you were to look outside my dad's bedroom window, like right there is Loch Ness. It's right there. He says hello to the monster every morning. And I love that. It makes me so happy for dad, just knowing how much of a proud Scotsman he is, to think that he gets to wake up every single day in a place where tourists pay thousands of pounds just to spend a weekend at. And he's just there chilling, living his best life, going on walks and exploring the Scottish countryside or Highlands even more. And on a more selfish note, that's great for me too, because I just get to visit him whenever. Late last year, 2024, I was in the Philippines and my family was saying that they'll be spending Christmas in the Scottish Highlands. So I booked my flight and spent Christmas and New Year's in the UK. And of course, as a filmmaker and photographer, I had to make the most out of the situation and shoot as much content there as possible. You can tell by my messy hair and watery eyes that this weather is kicking my ass. Funny enough, I had my Canon A1 for quite a few months now, but I never shot a roll on it. I think I was just admiring it every day on my desk there, but I wasn't actually touching or shooting with it. So this trip was the first time actually using that Canon A1, which I thought was very risky because this was like a very important shoot for me in a way, where it was very sentimental, having family over for Christmas. I'm spending time with my dad in the Scottish Highlands, which I don't do often just because it's quite far away. Even if you're in the UK, it takes like 4 to 6 hours just to get to where he is. So I wanted to make sure that these photos came out nicely. It was very risky knowing that I never shot this camera before, and if there was a malfunction with the camera, no matter how many prior tests you do beforehand, like without a roll of film, it can still mess up when you actually do shoot with a roll of film. So I was like, fingers crossed, I hope everything's fine, which I was quite confident it would be, just because the camera looks great. And I wanted the film stock to be Kodak Color Plus, mainly because I love warm tones, especially on film stocks. I think it gives off more of a nostalgic feeling, and I think having that alongside family photos as well in the Scottish Highlands just amplifies that vibe. Does that make sense? Hi, I arrived in Scotland yesterday and I'm about to go out to walk my niece's dog with her, and I thought right now would be the best time to load it and get some shots, you know. Shout out of course to Long Weekend for their film bags, very handy, and it's water resistant, which is perfect for the Scottish weather. But we're going to be shooting some Kodak Color Plus today, ISO 200, and it has 36 exposures. But let's go ahead and load this. No matter how many years I do film photography, I still get nervous when loading film, especially on cameras that I've never used before. Perfect. That there looks about right. Alright, so ISO 200, I want to push this film a wee bit because I know the colors are more vibrant that way. So my camera settings are at ISO 100 despite it being 200. I basically pushed it up by 1 stop. Hello, editor Cameron here. Okay, so I forgot to mention that although I did try to push this film by 1 stop, the place where I got my film processed and scanned at did not have the option to push or pull your film, mainly because the machines that they use automatically read the film canister that you insert in them, and therefore automatically detecting the film
film speed or ISO, which basically means that they weren't able to make any adjustments. So me shooting at 100 ISO to get more of a saturated look didn't really do anything, just made the photos more overexposed. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye, back to the video. And since this is going to be a quick walk where I can't really look at my settings properly, I'm going to be shooting this in fully automatic mode. Woohoo! All right, sweet, let's go. So that over there is the main road. This, we come down this road here just to basically come down from the hotel. This is a bridge, and this place is called Three Bridges because there's 1, 2, 3 bridges.
I also just realized I'm wearing the exact same jumper that I did that day in Scotland. It's clean. So I'm just having a look at the photos on my laptop right now. And there are 2 things that I noticed about basically this entire roll. Number 1, the photos are not sharp. And I think that's my fault just because I naturally have shaky hands, which is terrible for a filmmaker and photographer. But I thought the automatic mode in the Canon A1 would be able to take care of that just because it can really just gauge for shutter speed and everything. But of course, it can only do so much. The second thing I noticed, and I don't know if my eyes are playing games with me here, but a lot of these images do look distorted, which honestly makes sense because when shooting a lot of foliage, just leaves and shrubbery, a lot of the times they can look distorted on camera due to numerous reasons, and it's not a huge deal, like they don't look crazy distorted. And these photos also serve as a reminder for me to work on my shaky hand. These photos were specifically shot at Fort Augustus where we were staying, and I really do love how Fort Augustus has a lot of personality and just hidden gems. Like for example, Three Bridges over here, the Three Bridges, they even name it Three Bridges. Those small things is what I really love and what I really try to capture, just because, as you guys know, I really love capturing the personality and character of a place or a person, which is why I love this photo of Three Bridges, despite it being slightly out of focus and not being able to see the 3rd bridge since I'm standing on it, but it's still really cool. I absolutely love this one photo here. It's one of the first photos that I posted on Instagram. It just has so much to look at and it gives off a very comforting feeling. For example, you have this stone wall going across the image, which has been there for God knows how long. And then you have the Har right above. You see the mountains peeking in the background and you see that water peeking up as well. And I think this is a good time to talk about the weather in Scotland because Scotland is just famous for having terrible weather. We always make the joke that there's 4 seasons in one day. But I was talking to my dad about this, who literally spends all his time just observing the nature of the Highlands. And he says, Cameron, a lot of people hate Scotland because it's raining a lot. But at the same time, that rain is what brings out all of these beautiful colors in Scotland. You can see the purple there, the different shades of green, the brown, and being able to capture that, well, kind of under this overcast day was special for me because whenever I am in Scotland and it is raining and I'm getting annoyed by that, I remember that Scotland is so beautiful because of the rain. And that can go deep. I feel like you can really relate that to your personal life as well.
This here is the view from the hotel, which is wild because if you look all the way up there, that's actually snow. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's snow up there. And this is Loch Ness, where you'll find the Loch Ness monster, the main road, and this entire hotel is to ourselves. How lucky. So just behind these trees here, as you can see, are all of those boats just chilling. Crazy.
And after spending a few days there, you start observing things. Like for example, the first time I went by this body of water, it was very low tide and I was able to go in a lot further. And the very next day where it was basically a high tide, I wasn't able to go near as far out, which was very cool to see how quickly things change in just a matter of hours. And of course, how can we not talk about this huge abandoned boat here just sitting right under this tree? What I love about Port Augustus in Scotland is that they didn't move or touch this whatsoever. They just left it there. And it's not in the sense of like, okay, we're being lazy, we're not cleaning it up. They see that it adds character to the location, you know? And when you drive by and you see this stuff, you just have to pull over and just appreciate it. Same thing with me. As soon as I saw it, I had to get photos of it right away. Lastly, just look at that yellow flag or top, wherever it is, just hanging there at the bottom right. Again, I love those little just bursts of color that really makes the photo pop and stands out, and you just can't help but notice it. I also really want to talk about this one photo here, which shows tires popping in and out of the water. And of course, if you know about the Loch Ness Monster, then you know that this is an ongoing joke, because there's been so many sightings of the Loch Ness Monster throughout who knows how many years, right? One of the most popular ways to replicate a Loch Ness Monster is to put tires in the water, because it looks like the monster is going up and down. And when I saw this, I knew exactly what they were trying to do, and I thought it was so funny, so I had to capture it, and of course trying to make it like as pretty or aesthetic as possible. So I had the foreground of branches, and I love how the right hand side branch has leaves on it, but the one on the left hand side doesn't, and there's just enough of a gap in between them to highlight the subject of this photo, which is the tires. So it's kind of like a frame within a frame.
All right, so I was just going to like cross the street to that little bay area of the boats and take some photos there, but then I thought, I don't know how keen I would be to be walking in the rain like this in the next week or so, and if the weather will be this nice, if it will be pouring rain or not. So I thought, let's go ahead and walk for about 20 minutes to the main village, because the village is where the main like loch is, and there's some really cool scenery there. I must say, I am very happy and proud of myself though, because before this trip I was like, we're going to make this a shoot trip, okay? We're going to shoot a lot on your digital camera for videos, the film camera for photos, and make sure this is a content trip. Yes, you're here for Christmas and for family, but this is too good of an opportunity to give up. 1 second, there's a car that's about to run me over. And it actually feels so good doing this, just walking around and taking photos, shooting on my iPhone. The main reason I'm saying that is because I know a lot of photographers just have that trouble actually going out there and taking photos, you know, but just do it, man. Just do it, go out, have fun, don't think about it too much. Take photos of whatever you think is cool and just put it out there, share your work. People love seeing that. It's so cold, man.
This is one of my favorite houses in Fort Augustus, which is funny because the owner of this house is actually my dad's friend. They're a lovely couple that he sees every now and then, and whenever I do visit, they always come up and talk to me. How are you doing, Cameron? How's the Philippines? How's work? And they're just so nice. One thing that's very interesting for me, who spent a lot of time growing up in Asia, was seeing how differently they live out there, especially in Fort Augustus, where, for example, if you look here in the image, the one thing that really stands out is the firewood at the side of the house. Just being there for Christmas and New Year's, I realized how much firewood you need during that time of year. So those small details are really cool for me, where I'm able to relate it to something I really do remember specifically from that trip. Even the other details in this photo, such as the stone wall again, going across the foreground of the image. And this time you're able to see more of the moss on that stone wall. The only thing that I would change about this photo, that I wish I did at the time, if you can see, there's a gap between the two trees at the top. I wish I placed the chimney right in the middle of that gap, just so that this photo would be even more centered and more satisfying to look at. It also would have been cool if there was like smoke going through the chimney, but I wasn't about to knock on the door and be like, can you guys start a fire for me so that I can get a cool photo, you know? And again, thanks to the rain, there's so many different and beautiful colors, different shades of green, that brown, and the way the moss is just laying on the house's roof. And if you look very carefully, peeking there in the background is the hotel that we were staying at. So it just shows how cozy and close together these subjects are. feel like I can talk about a lot of these photos in detail, but I don't want to do that because this video will take forever. But just to breeze through them, you see this photo here of these two lovely ladies, these two grannies. I love it. The amount of red sticking out is sick, and how it's just sticking out from like a very plain and brown and green background, and they're matching. Do you know how cute that is? One is wearing a red hat with a little white ball on top, and her friend is wearing a matching red coat. And you see the abandoned bridge in the background and the half falling on top of it. And I took it very last minute because I was across the street and I just saw them walking towards me, and I was kind of hesitant just because I don't feel comfortable taking photos of strangers, which I'm trying to change. So I got this photo kind of late. For me, I don't know why in particular, I can't put my finger on it, but this is very Scotland to me. Like, it's very Scottish to me. It reminds me of my nan as well. And yeah, I don't know. It touches me a lot, this photo, man. I then decided to walk about an additional 10 minutes or so to the main loch, or the main body of water, where you're just on a patch of grass, and if you look in front of you, it's nothing but water. Like, that's Loch Ness, which when you're there, it's kind of surreal thinking that you're at this one place that's just so famous worldwide, and so many people travel from all parts of the world just to be at this one position that you're at now. This was a moment I would never forget because I saw one of the most beautiful things ever, which is arguably one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken. Okay, so long story short, as I was walking up to the loch, I know that there's this little, how do I say this, a little pathway leading out into the water where there's no surrounding land. It's just that one narrow pathway in the water. I saw this one man just sitting there alone, relaxing. He was also taking photos, but he was just sitting there and enjoying the view. He was still quite a wee bit far away, so I wasn't like exactly able to see what he was doing. But as soon as I saw him like slightly and slowly bow down, I was like, oh my gosh, he's praying. Photos like this that aren't planned and are just so natural are reasons why I love photography, because you capture magical moments like this. Looking back at it now, I'm literally getting goosebumps, but there's something so powerful about praying at Loch Ness in that environment. You know, look at his surrounding, look at that body of water, look at all of his beauty and nature around you that God has created, and you're able to pray right in the middle of all of that. Praying in general is very powerful, but doing it in a setting like this, I can just imagine it hitting 100 times more. And really quickly, what I did want to mention is I didn't feel the most comfortable taking these photos. You know, it felt very intrusive. It felt like, in a way, slightly disrespectful, but at the same time, I was like, this is such a beautiful moment that I would really beat myself up for not capturing it later on down the line. I had to leave shortly after this, so I actually wasn't able to go and talk to him because he was still praying and I didn't want to bother him, of course, and interrupt. So if you are watching this, man, which I highly doubt you are, I'm so happy and glad that you had that beautiful moment and that once in a lifetime experience of praying at Loch Ness, and I hope you enjoy these photos. On my way back to the hotel, I took these unfocused photos of these ducks here and this house behind trees, which I'm not too sure what I was trying to do here, to be honest with you. But I basically called it a day there. I had about like maybe 5 or 6 shots left, and the day after Christmas I was like, okay, let's finish this roll. But then I quickly realized, I was like, oh, you haven't taken any photos of your family yet. I was shooting a lot of videos of my family members with this camera that I'm shooting on right now, especially on my phone as well.
Oh, that is so nice. I'm actually jealous of that. Thank you.
Way.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But I didn't take any photos of them, so that's when I was like basically telling everyone, okay, or whoever was available, I need you to step outside of the hotel for a bit, this nice lighting, and let me take a few portraits of you. I don't think there's much of a need for me to explain why these photos are so special to me and why I love them so much. Of course, my favorite photo here is this one of mum and dad just looking at each other and laughing and being all cute together and being so in love. It's a special one for me, mainly because dad never smiles in photos, okay? In his head, he's smiling. Like in his head, he has the widest grin, but in the actual photo, he's just monotone. Like this one here, he's looking at me like he doesn't know me. But having him smile in the other photo with mum and then having them look at each other like this, knowing that this is shot on film during the Christmas season in the Scottish Highlands, it's just like, oh, I'm so happy that I captured that. Knowing that as well, like I'm the one who captured this photo of them, it's a photo that I'm always gonna hold dear to my heart for the rest of my life, and a special one that I of course just have to frame. I love my parents, man. They're my best friends, the best role models. They teach me so many beautiful lessons, and there's photos that you just can't compare to something that's perfectly framed or structured and has the perfect lighting. This for me, alongside like a photo of a man praying at Loch Ness, that's what photography and taking photos for me is all about, you know? But let's actually talk about cameras and gear and stuff. If you look closely, there are two lines going through this image of mum and dad here, and this is because I was shooting on a new lens which was actually gifted to me by my brother-in-law Darren. Darren, I love you, you give the best gifts, thank you so much. When I shot on that lens, these two lines came through, so it might just be a slight thing that's wrong with the lens. Again, it's not anything huge, it's just those two lines because it is like a very old lens. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so very much for watching. But I'm going to be here for a while now in Dubai, so this meeting room is where you're going to be seeing me shoot the majority of my sit-down talking videos for the next few months. And I did take film photos here in Dubai for this YouTube channel, so you guys can expect that video next. It's basically this, but replace the Scottish Highlands with Dubai, and you guys can see the different types of photos that I did take here, which I was quite happy about, and I'm excited to share them with you. Make sure you guys are subscribed and turn the notification bell on so that you are notified when I do upload that video and any other future videos. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, because liking this video lets YouTube know that these videos are worth pushing out to more and new audiences. Last but not least, other plugs, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Caffrey Cameron, because a lot of the times all these photos that you see me discussing on this channel, you will see first on Instagram. I love you guys. Make sure you take care of yourselves, drink your water. Goodbye.